This video is part 1 of 2. If you're new here, then hello, welcome to the Kimono Rider channel. Anyone who's been following along may think that I would be too tired to go out again after yesterday's massive ride, but they would be mistaken. It turns out that Will and Helsvane had the day off today as well, so I spent another night at Helsvane's house and we headed south together towards a meetup point that would work for the three of us. My yukata needed to be washed from yesterday, so I was just wearing one of my favorite haori, and you can see the chest and back protector that I always wear below my clothes. It's only good for impact protection, so I have other clothes for slide resistance too. So many layers makes it really hot though. It was so hot and sunny that I was glad that I wasn't wearing the yukata today again as well. There were a few people stopping and taking photos of the sunflowers. I wish that we had the time to stop here too, but maybe next year. Our lovely countryside riding section was coming to an end, turning into city streets and traffic, which meant a lot of boring driving and a lot of stopping and starting for a really long time until we met up with Will. But it felt like mostly stopping.
Did you say 90 kilometers or 19? Kilometers, and it's going to take us 15 minutes? So slow, that's like 20 an hour.
So I cut out that entire boring hour of the ride. And now we're a group of 3 and already at the ocean road heading towards Izu. It's a bit hard to see the ocean from the camera's low angle and with the barriers in the way, but I could see it while I was riding, and I could definitely smell the ocean too. It wasn't the rotting smell you sometimes get with fishing areas, but just a salty taste in the air. Although it does seem like there was some trash in the area because whoa, good maneuvering by Helsvane. I just moved slightly to the right and passed it just fine. And there goes another piece of road trash. We got off that main road and onto some smaller streets, and I was trusting the route to the guys because for some reason my phone stopped working.
That's really cute, that bridge and the houses and a little bit of a tiny little hill with the trees.
Too bad I didn't actually remember to cut that part of the footage in though, so you'll have to go and see for yourself, or just trust that I thought it was cute from my vantage point. We realized that these smaller streets were just taking us parallel to the main road, but at a much slower pace and with more stopping, which was causing us to get hot. So after checking our options, we decided to get back onto the same road that we had just left.
Now let's get back on it if we can. Yeah, I want to. Blue.
We were back on the same ocean road again, and I felt like I was inside a summer painting. were coming up to the toll booth to enter the Hakone turnpike, and I will admit that I was not adequately prepared when we pulled up because I assumed I would be able to use my ETC for any toll roads, so my wallet was tucked away in my panniers.
I'll get my money out. Is it cash only?
はい、現金だけですか？現金だけ。あ、OK、はい、わかりました。うわ。
Of course, this toll is cash only, so I needed to remove my gloves, and I only had a 10,000 yen note on me for a 650 yen fee. After paying, we pulled to the side to regroup, and I realized that my phone was overheating, which is why it hadn't been working properly.
Oh, that's fine, isn't it?
We had a check-in discussion about the route that I couldn't contribute to at all because of my non-working phone, and then we were back into the real-life painting again. There were stunning views of the mountains and the ocean, and then we just had these beautiful roads where Ninja-chan and I kept a steady pace because obviously the other bikes in the group were more powerful. We pulled up into the little Shirogane Outlook parking lot and admired the views. I couldn't tell you how we came up with this idea, but rather than just ride the rest of the way up to the Mount Taikan Observatory normally, we somehow decided to do a little bike swap.
Because mine is also.
Yeah, I think like
It was a fun idea, but then we were setting up the bikes, and it is so nerve-wracking to ride a new bike for the first time. All of us were super nervous, but really excited.
Is yours unlocked? Oh, you got the keys in there anyway.
It's unlocked now. Back step.
We spent a while getting our bikes set up for each other and explaining their specific quirks.
I think that's the only thing. And right turn is
Helsane set up his H2 for Will set up his CBR for me, and I just left Ninja-chan with Helsane and let him set himself up because I'm not a considerate friend.
I'm not too worried about it.
That's a joke, for the record.
It probably is heavier than yours.
I'm nervous as well. Be careful. He's got strong brakes. Holy shit, they're strong. Your bike does lack. It's like a lot of
We had a great yap afterwards about riding each other's bikes. The guys didn't seem to be done playing, so I encouraged them to do another run down and back without me. So Helsane could ride Will's bike, and I could go up to buy a Torge project sticker from the shop inside. When they got back, we went out and admired the views while cooling down with some drinks. How cool is this swing set? There was no line and the views were amazing. And don't you worry, the guys got to swing together too. You ride another man's bike and you become besties pretty quickly. I don't make the rules. After our bit of fun and rest, it was time to get back to the twisties. We left the parking area and got onto the Tsubaki line heading southeast. Helsane took the point position at first, but once we got to a straight with good visibility, he let me move up and I was setting the pace for the run down the mountain. I gotta tell you, I was feeling good, I'm in the curves, half a second of covering the brakes while my brain processes the threat level of a parked car becoming visible around the bend, and we're all good. Just a quick aside, obviously I was not hoping to need to use the front brake with this much lean angle, and I don't want anyone watching this to think that would be a good idea. I just instinctively covered both the front and rear brakes so I could use them if I absolutely needed to. We're on an open stretch of road with a car up front that I don't want to try and overtake. So I'm ready to fall back and let the guys do their own thing for a while. I'm just vibing, stretching out my arm, having a good time. Then we're back to the twisties again, and these ones are long, but fun. I'm ready to chill again for a bit, so I started to slow down and let Will pass ahead of me, so that everyone in our group could ride comfortably at their own pace. A rider ahead of me is moving aside for me to pass them. I was super fine to chill behind them, but I appreciate the gesture. I made sure that I didn't feel pressured to push myself or ride faster just because I had overtaken them. We've only been riding this Torge for 15 minutes, but I'm starting to get gassed with the heat and the downhill twisties. I have an unbelievably bad upper to lower body strength ratio, so whilst I love uphill twisties or a combination of uphill and downhill, pure downhill riding is hell on my weak arms, neck and lower back muscles, and I did not accurately anticipate the drive time to the bottom. I spent a while taking the road really easily, which is why I assume the lads had stopped and were there waiting for me because our intercoms weren't connected at this point. I didn't want to stop there, so I kept riding until I could pull off the road and let the guys move on ahead again. Suddenly, we were in a more residential area, and this stop sign was just in the most random position, several car lengths back from the actual intersection. I think this place might hold the record for the longest distance between a stop line and the intersection of all of the roads I've ridden thus far. It's just weird. Helsvein saw on his GPS that there was a waterfall nearby, and I saw the sign behind us. So we pulled up and had a quick discussion about whether we wanted to stop here or not.
What was that?
Waterfall.
Just there. Do you want to go to it? We can maybe park up somewhere.
Also, I burned myself on my bike, not for the last time.
Ah, fuck. That's hot. I don't know it.
We decided that we did want to go back to the waterfall and take a break, so we found a safer place to do a U-turn with more room and better visibility in both directions. We were all incredibly hot, thirsty, and tired from the ride down, so our U-turns were not what you could call exemplary on this deceptively narrow and steep road.
Do you want me to push?
Yeah.
You good?
We pulled into the baking hot parking lot and quickly walked up, drawn in by the kakigori signs, which it turns out was not being sold today. I guess they don't get enough visitors on weekdays, which does make sense, but it was disappointing for me because I was really excited by the idea of eating shaved ice. But we took a break here in the shade and worked out the next part of our ride. We were back on our bikes with a mission, to find a place where we could swim, or at the very least, something to cool us down. The GPS wasn't showing anything good nearby, so we followed the river by Google Maps and our own sense of direction, looking for some amazing unmarked spot that we could park and swim. We were parallel to the river. We crossed the river. We were being taunted by the river. In the end, we couldn't find a swimming spot, so we headed back towards the town to find a place where we could stop and cool off. Pulled into the first place that looked like they would have some kind of drinks because we were too hot to be picky. It turns out that we had stopped at a dessert place with a modern style river counter, which was super cute and fun, although slightly on the pricier side. But that didn't even matter because they had the most important things: air conditioning and self-service drinking water. Our bikes also looked super cute parked outside, and we could see them from our seats. It took a little while for our food to arrive, despite being fairly empty, but that was actually perfect for us, so we could spend more time cooling down and looking up routes for the rest of the day. Of course we ordered shaved ice. The guys both got strawberry, and I went for matcha.
I love those spoons. That's cool.
Like 2 seconds. Could you help me with this?
I wasn't sure if the coloured balls contained gluten, so Helsing picked them off and ate them for me. We continued riding for another several hours, but this is the end of the part 1 video. If you did like this video, the rest of the ride continues in part 2, so please check it out. And if you didn't like it, then that's okay too. Thank you anyway for making it to the end.